So this story is what I call the pressure systems. The pressure systems in Aboriginal and in, we'll call it, whitefella cultures. All of us are under these pressures, but youth workers working in different parts of the country around here will come across these pressures in different ways. And hardly anybody ever talks about it properly or even admits to it. But a couple of years ago, the NPY Women's Council had a gathering at which Dr. Marcus Tabard and I picked up these themes and presented them at that meeting. But the themes, the pressures, came out of a couple of meetings with the NPY Women's Council men's program, the Wadi program. And so this is the list and this is the map that came from them, and I'm passing it on to you. Some of the men were saying, you know, people look at us, Anangu, and they say, why don't you do something? Why do you leave all those kids? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? Well, you don't even look carefully at the pressure we're under. What do you mean pressure? Well, there's maybe 8, 9, 10 pressures that are there all the time. Well, okay, I said, come on, let's go through them. And we got a big piece of canvas, a really big piece of canvas and chalk, and we drew a map on the ground. We went through them, the 10 of them. Pity I haven't got the map here to show you, but anyway, maybe we can put that on the film sometime. So one of the pressures on the young people is that so many a family are away, absent. Some are in hospital, some are at diabetes, and some of the men in particular are away in jail. And you might know that maybe 80% of the Alice Springs jail and Northern Territory jails, 80% have men, fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, cousins in jail. So you think about that in terms of family missing and the pressure that then comes on young people without those close relations, for better or worse, because we know sometimes there's a lot of trouble. But this is one thing, too many people away too long. Next to that, on the map, if you thought of it in your mind like a big circle, is funeral and death. I don't think I know any other culture in this country where so many members of the family pass away so fast, so young, so sadly. And the funeral system, the sorry business system, as you will know, in Central Australia means a lot of travelling, a lot of going to funerals, the whole year set out now in a series of funerals right across the country, the money involved, the sorting out after involved, deaths and funerals take people away. The other part of the matrix is what we'll call the two law. There are two laws, two cultural laws, two systems of justice, two systems of order, even if they're all mixed up in Australia. The white system, and we'll call it the black system. Anangu law, Yapa law, Aranda law, Walpri law, Pinnaby law. It's been there a lot longer than Captain Cook. And then there's the changing laws now, the constantly changing laws in the Northern Territory that applies to trying to keep order. And you think across the whole spectrum of two laws and the accountability and the responsibility and the authority, where the police stand, where corrections stand, where the old men might stand and their ideas of law and the power and the authority. It's a mixed up system. So you've got a lot of young people, male and female, who are living in a situation where it's really not clear who holds the law, who holds the good order, and how to do that. It's a big story, the law story. Number 4, and the Pitjantjatjara, Yankunytjatjara and Nungatjara men were pointing this out, and the Pinnaby pointed out, and the Aranda pointed out, and the Warlpiri, Mandurah, everyone points out the value, the significance of country, and Jukurpa linked to country, Altura linked to country. The pressure on people, also young and old, to maintain country, to maintain the psychological, mental, physical relationship with country and Jukurpa, dreaming stories, law. This is a pressure on people. It may not be that everyone wants to go back out to country. It may be that country is too far away or locked off. But you have to think about the significance as a youth worker of what you might be doing if you're assisting, helping young people and their families spend time on country away from the pressure of the town and community. And you know also there's pressure on food. The quality of food in the communities, the quality and the cost of food, the difficulty of hunting food now, the old systems, the new systems, hunger, starvation, food is a big issue. And this, for youth workers, is often something that you're having to deal with nearly all the time, even though it's not especially in your job description. And so too is intoxication, whether it's alcohol or ganja or ice or any of the other stuff that flows in from Darwin, from Adelaide, from Canton, from China, from India, from wherever. The effect of intoxication, this is a big story, and the young people are mixed up in it. And they're mixed up in number 7, the family violence story. Men on men, men on women, women on women, women on men, men on kids. It goes around and round. Entrapment in family violence and also institutional violence. Australia is not a quiet and peaceful country. Under the skin for everyone, a long history of violence. And this leads us to number 8 in the pressure system, money. Some people have money, some people don't have money. You'll be asked for money, you are asked for money. Someone asks to borrow $20, someone says, this poor kid, he thinks he wants $20, he wants it for ganja, and he threatens his mother. He says to his mother, if you don't give me $20 or $100, I'm going to hang myself. And then quite often all his trouble comes back to the youth workers. You're involved in the economy and the problems of money as a youth worker, whether you want it or not. So this brings us to number 9. You see how many pressures there are all the time running through this country. There's the pressure of the white fella organisations. Centrelink, with all respect, the way Centrelink works, and the difficulties of getting online and to engage with Centrelink and manage mobile phone accounts, Centrelink accounts, license accounts, problems with police, organisational systems. This is a pressure on young people of any culture, but it's a big pressure here in Central Australia in a way that many of you will know. And then there's the last, what I'm going to call the last white fella pressure, the last cardia pressure, and that's the strange ideas that so many white people have about who they are and what they can do and what we can say and what our entitlements are and who and how we manage our own ideas when we're in close relationship with Anangu, Yapa, Indigenous people and young people. So one of the things we'd be saying is, as a professional, learn to observe and manage your own assumptions, your own ideas, and don't chuck them on top of people before you even know what your own ideas And of course, this goes back to the Greeks. Back to the Greeks. Know thyself. Know thyself. Thank you very much.